Ladies and gents, this is the moment you've all been waiting for. Forget the transfers. Forget the here we goes. Who do I think's going to win the league? Where do I think Forest are going to finish? And who's going down? Welcome to Wolfie's prediction. Good morning, good evening, or good night. Hope you guys are doing well. And welcome to a fun episode. Everyone's doing it, so we've got to get involved as well. And I want you guys involved in the comments below. This is it. This is your official receipt because I will be checking back at the end of the season. Get in the comments now where you think Forest are going to finish. Let me know if you want to go further. Let me know your bottom three. Who's going to win the league? And who's the first manager that's going to be sacked? We'll just do some of those, whatever you can be bothered to do. If you're enjoying the content, this you need to do. Hit that like button. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new. And don't forget, with the Premier League coming up, with all the 3 p.m. kickoffs and everything, you need to protect yourselves with Surfshark. Surfshark basically makes you anonymous online. It is the best VPN you can use. I love it. We use it, and with code FFTV, you get an extra 4 months completely for free, and prices start from £1.59 a month. It's the cheapest way to protect yourselves. Scan this QR code or click in the link that's pinned in the comments down below. All right, let's get into this one. And shall we start with, let's start with the relegation battle. Okay, I'm going to give you not my bottom 3, but my bottom 5. I'm going to show you who is going down as well. And let's kick this off nice and simply with 16th place. And I'm putting Bournemouth in there. I do rate their manager. I like some of their squad, but I just think with Solanke going, they won't have the firepower. I think their midfield's a little small. And this time, I think they will be found out this season a little bit. I hope. I'm putting them down in 16th place. I think that's still a decent turnout for such a small club. So, Bournemouth fans, do you agree with me or not? You know, 16th is like your World Cup right there. So, Bournemouth in 16th. In 17th, I am going to put, and shout out to Sorry Mike, Stand United with him. I think Southampton survive. On no basis other than one, I really love Sorry Mike. And then secondly, Southampton are a bit of an Everton. Yes, they had the blip 2 years ago where they went down. They were horrific. But they just always had before that a way of just about surviving. And I think they'll pull one out the bag here. And I think they will survive by the skin of their teeth in that magical 17th position. Sorry Mike, if you're watching, do you agree with me or not? You happy with me? Don't get upset, bro. Don't get upset. So I'm putting them in 17th. Now, in 18th, one of the team that I think will go down that didn't come up is the team that I really can't stand. Yes, there might be a little biasy in this one, but it's Brentford, man. They need to go. They don't belong in the Premier League with their B-Tech stadium, with their crappy fan base. They should just be a car park for the Chelsea football team or something like that. They're a joke of a club. And if they lose Tony, they may be even lower than 18th. And I think they're running out of ideas. I think they've been found out, and they were lucky in a sense not to get fully dragged into the relegation battle last season either. But I'm saying this year, they go down, and they go down 18th for me. 19th place, I'm putting Ipswich in. I got no beef with Ipswich, by the way. I quite like them. I've been to Ipswich loads of times as well. But I just don't think they're going to be that Luton plucky story this year. I don't think there's going to be much pluck found in the Premier League this year whatsoever. I think they'll put a good fight up, but they will go down. And I'm sorry, Ipswich fans, but I just think it's going to be too big an ask for you. Maybe you bounce back up again the next season. Who knows? And then in 20th, it will come as no surprise to you. Rock bottom of the Premier League, as long as they stick with the manager they currently have, will be Leicester City. They've got points deduction coming in. I've seen their preseason games. Woeful. Literally, how Leicester fans watch those preseason games, I don't know. And I don't see it improving at all. I think the Leicester fans, you better be ready for we're going to work hard. You better be ready for the sticking to the plans. All that kind of rhetoric is coming your way. But it will mean nothing because you will end up bottom. And if you get that points deduction, you may even break Derby's record. Sorry, I no beef with Leicester whatsoever. I don't mind Leicester. I don't see them as rivals or anything like that. But I know Cooper Ball. And that is going to take you down, Leicester fans. Do you agree with me or not? I actually think a lot of Leicester fans will, as they currently stand right now. So that's my bottom 5. Get yours in the comments down below. All right, let's move it on to the business end of the pitch, the table, whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to start from the top and work my way down here. And I'm not going to do what most people are doing and say Man City to win the league because they must get points deducted this season. The corruption, we all know how rife it is in the Premier League. So as long as the Premier League return one of those brown envelopes to the Man City corrupted team, we may see a little bit of justice done. So, Man City would obviously win this, but I am hoping against hope there is some justice with Richard Masters and his cronies, and that they can actually punish Man City. And with that in mind, I'm going to put Liverpool to win the league. Why? Because of a couple of reasons. I think Slot is a good manager. He should slot right in. I'm sure none of you have heard that joke before. But on top of that, they haven't made many changes to their squad. I thought the likes of Salah might go, Virgil van Dijk might go, and all those, but they've stayed. They've kept that core together. Yes, they haven't recruited yet. Yes, they've been screwed over a couple of times, quite funnily, in the transfer market, but I still expect them to get some business done. And I think Liverpool have got the bottle to take Man City. I've thought about maybe Arsenal, but then Arsenal always bottle it, don't they? We've seen them over the last 2 years. So I'm going to go for Liverpool to win the league. I know that's going to vex, and I know that's going to vex Rob, and I know it's going to vex a lot of the older Forest generation. And it's annoyed me a little as well, especially after the fiasco we saw at the City Ground last year. But I've got to go objectively here, and I'm going with Liverpool. Now, in second place, this is my long shot one. I'm going to put Chelsea in second. I think they have the nucleus of not just a squad, but they could put a team out to finish in every position. They've got that many players. It's so nice to make jokes about other teams buying too many players for once. But I think, and I still hold on to what I said last season, and Nkunku is one of the best players in the Premier League. He wasn't fit last year, he is now, and I expect him to have a cracking season. They've made some great signings in amongst all the millions of players they've bought. And Enzo Maresca's style of football will suit the Premier League. And I think it will take them a couple of weeks to get up to speed. They've got Man City off the rip, I think. And once they get into their stride, he will drill them into his philosophy. He will get them to play the way he wants to play. And that will get them results. So I'm putting them second. Close third, I'm going to go with Arsenal. I just still think Arsenal need a striker. Without a striker, Arsenal are still missing that je ne sais quoi for me. Don't give me this crap about Havertz. He ain't a striker. Gabriel Jesus, on and off with injuries. They still need the striker. Where they are strong is defensively. They've recruited well, again defensively. But they still, for me, are missing a striker. If they got a striker late in the window, maybe they go and get a Tony or something, then I would fancy their chances to push for that number one spot. But until then, I've got them down in third. And making up my final Champions League place will be the 115 themselves, Man City. I would like to hope they get docked at least 20 points, fine through the roof. I mean, I would love them to get relegated. That would be justice. But with the amount of brown envelopes coming out, I can't see it. So technically, Man City will have enough points to win the league. But I expect a huge points deduction from them, which will probably push them down to fourth. And it will be no harm, no foul. They'll still get Champions League. They'll be happy. The Premier League will be happy that they've protected their baby. And everyone will move forward from there. We won't. We'll still be calling it out. But I see that happening. And in fifth place, it begrudges me to say this, But I'm going to go with Tottenham. Now they've got Solanke, they got a striker up front. I still think they're going to be short. They'll be that team that goes in purple patches then crappy patches. And they'll end up somewhere fifth. Maybe start higher in the league and drop down like they normally do, especially in and around February time. Sixth place, I've got Newcastle. I think Newcastle will have a decent season. They were really heavily injury struck last year, and I think Eddie Howe is still a cracking manager, and I expect him to get a tune out of their squad, especially if they keep Bruno. And with Vlachodimos in goal, what can go wrong? And then in seventh place, our Midlands brethrens, and that is Villa. I think Villa could do better, but may find themselves stretched with the Champions League and probably dropping into Europa after that. Their squad size may be the thing that holds them back. I think they'll be about seventh. And in eighth place, no, I haven't gone Manchester United. I haven't gone West Ham. I haven't gone Crystal Palace. I'm going to be bold and I'm going to be optimistic. And I'm going to back Nuno. And I am going to say Forest can get 8th place. Okay, it's a little higher than most are predicting. I think most would probably say 13th, 14th, somewhere around then. But I've been so impressed with the preseason. The recruitment has been surgical this summer. And if we do get a striker, there's 2 conditions I put on this. A good goal-scoring striker who can stay fit. Sangare to continue his preseason form. Forest will surprise a few this season. So laugh at me all you want. Say Jinxerine all you want in the comments. But I'm going Forest to finish 8th. Do you agree with me or not? Would you have gone lower? Or maybe you would have gone higher? Let me know in the comments down below. And that leaves us with the fun stuff to talk about. You've got Golden Boot, first manager to be sacked, player of the season, these kind of things. I'll just reel them off quickly for you here. I think Golden Boot will probably end up going to Haaland. Boring. In terms of player of the season, I gotta go in Nkunku. I think he's just too good and he will sort Chelsea out heavily this season. In terms of first manager to be sacked, oh, it's got to be Cooper. I'm sorry, it does. Cooper doesn't have that credit in the bank with Leicester that he had at Forest. Their patience will be thin when it comes to them maybe losing the first 4 or 5 games, suddenly finding themselves at the bottom of the table, suddenly then being hit with a points deduction. I can see them pulling the trigger quite quickly on him. And if it's not him, I think it will be Thomas Frank. His time is up. He needs to go. I can't stand looking at him. So I think it's between those two. And the manager of the season, I think may go to Enzo if he does with Chelsea what I think they are capable of. So those are my predictions. Agree with them, disagree, whatever. Let me know yours in the comments down below and I will hold you accountable to them. If you've enjoyed the content, please don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new and we'll see you on the next episode. Go scan this Surfshark and we'll see you then. Come on, you Reds.